Okay, so it's 12, so we're going to get started. My name is Jessie Easton, and this is Write the Hard Thing. I am so happy to be here. Hi. Yeah, I'm finally home after being at my brother's for like a month in Michigan, which was really lovely. But I just like being in my own space and being in this space, like it feels really good. And I don't know about you, but this week has been kind of a lot. So I'm just like happy to have this time to take a pause and come back to myself. Um, I hear you. That's okay. That's okay next time. We do this every week. No worries, Joe. Appreciate you. Bye. Um, yeah, so I've just been feeling super drained. So this is like a time to kind of focus on to ourselves and our writing and ground our nervous system. So if you're new here, welcome. This is a weekly invitation to pause and to get grounded and to write from a place of safety. So I will guide us through a short grounding to just kind of settle the nervous system and get us into this space. Hi, Karen. I love seeing you here. And then I will offer us a gentle prompt to just kind of help you enter your hard story. You can use it or not use it. You can welcome to follow your own thread, whatever feels good for you. And then we'll write for 10 minutes together. And there's no pressure. You don't have to, this is not about getting it right or getting it perfect. There's no pressure to share, although I do love hearing what comes up for you. I just believe that when we write the hard thing, even for just like 10 minutes, it starts to shake things loose and we start to feel some movement, not just in our body, but in the story. It allows for some breath and some space. And 10 minutes might not seem like a lot, but it is enough to actually touch something in your story and feel in your body like what's coming up and allow that to come onto the page. So, and then we get to do it together, which is really nice because sometimes writing can feel lonely. I know when I was writing my memoir, I did not have Substack. It was like before Substack was really a thing. And I didn't have like a writing community. I wasn't in therapy. There were so many things. I did not have the tools and resources that I do now. And it's just so helpful. So I'm just really grateful for this space and I'm glad that you're here. And just we don't have to write the whole story today either, right? We're just like getting curious about what's showing up and giving ourselves permission to go there and to just get some words on the page and let the body guide us to the story and tell it however you want, like don't let anyone else or anything else in during this time. Like this is your time to do the thing, the hard thing, right? So and then after writing, I will lead us back into just like a short grounding, just to transition us back into our day and kind of close this space. So we are going to take a moment to arrive and we start with the breath. So wherever you are, just go ahead and close your eyes if that feels good, or soften your gaze. Just allow your breath to slow down. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold it for a moment and exhale gently out the mouth. Two more like that. Inhale through the nose. Hold. Exhale. The last one, go at your own pace. Let your body land here. Let your attention soften. Let your nervous system know it's safe to be here. You don't have to be anywhere else but here. And when you're ready, gently come back to the space. Open your eyes if you close them. Okay. So today's prompt is about goodbyes. It's been a pretty big theme in my life lately, between just like saying goodbye to my family in Michigan and saying goodbye to my cousin who passed away recently. Even in my memoir chapter that went out this week, it was about me saying goodbye to my mom in prison. And so, for those of you who don't know, I'm serializing my memoir here on Substack. So, every week a chapter goes out. I'm about halfway through, and it's about really like me growing up in a meth lab. My dad was a meth cook, and my mom was in and out of prison. And this was like one of the first times that I got to see her after like a big thing. And it was about saying goodbye after that, and it was, like, this kind of goodbye that felt like it lived in my body for years. Honestly, I think it's probably still living in my my body in some way, but it was like this feeling of a perpetual leaving, and it shaped the way that, like, I learned to love and to hope and to fear, and it just, like, had me in this space of waiting, and so it really wasn't just about saying goodbye to her, it was also saying goodbye to, like, who I once was before all this. So, today our invitation is revisit a goodbye that left you unraveling. And so what is it? What does it feel like, right? Maybe it was a sudden goodbye. You didn't see it coming and you couldn't stop it. Or maybe you did see it and but there wasn't anything you can do. Maybe you didn't say what you needed to say or you said the wrong thing or said too much. Just take a moment and go back there to that space, to that goodbye. Think about the sentences. What did it smell like? What did the light look like? What did your body feel like? What were you holding on to physically or emotionally? What did you leave behind? So just let whatever comes come and remember like this isn't about getting it right or even making sense. You don't have to tell the whole story. We're just like touching the story, seeing what's there. And so try to let the memory rise through the body and let yourself go there fully before you try to like explain it because like the body knows it's carrying these stories. So we'll write for 10 minutes. And again, the prompt is revisit a goodbye that left you unraveling. And I'll turn my screen around and I'll let you know when you have 1 minute left. So you can see the prompt on the screen if you need to come back to it. Okay, 1 sec. I'll let you know when I start the timer. Okay, here we go. Okay, you have about 1 minute left. Bring your sentence to a close. Okay. Oof, I was really trying to move through that to wrap it up before the end. It's fun though. You can always return back to the story after this. At least you know where you're going. Um, Before we get back into the grounding, I want to invite you to give your piece a title. Just like something simple, could just be like a word. Even if you just wrote a few lines, it can be helpful to title our pieces just because it kind of brings us to the center of what we are trying to say. And it's just kind of saying, like, oh, well, this is what came up for me today. Um, so if you want, you can drop your title into the chat. I'd love to see it. I like to see what you come up with. I'm trying to think of what mine is. I had it as I was writing it and now it's out of my brain. Um I I think I'll drop mine in. I think I'm going to title it The End of Tour. So I'll drop that in. Ooh, I know what death looks like. Wow, thank you for sharing that. The end of innocence. Wow, y'all really went for it today. A million goodbyes without a single hello. Wow, these are incredible. I wanna save them. They're so beautiful. Maybe I can check in with you later to see what comes up. Short love, powerful love. Whoops. Oh, I don't know. Did it cut out for you guys? Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Bianca, Michelle. Thank you so much for sharing. I ended up normally I write about my mom. I have like a million stories about her. Or I write about my dad. It's just those are my people. Um, but today I challenged myself to not write about my parents, to not write about my family, like where I come from. And I ended up writing about my husband, and we met on tour. I used to work for a record label, and he was in a band, and we had toured the country on this summer music tour. And it was the last day of tour for me. He was continuing on into Montreal, so I was that goodbye of what it felt like. It was like, a summer fling. At least that's like how I presented it to myself and to him, as if it didn't matter. And, these things happen on tour. No big deal. But really, I was unraveling, and I had said it didn't mean anything, and what we had didn't mean anything, or had tried to convince myself of that. So he's like, the cab comes and he's putting me into the cab. And I'm like, yes, whatever. Yeah. We'll keep in touch. No worries. And as soon as the door closes and the cab's driving away and he can no longer see me, just like full on sobbing. And I just didn't know if we'd ever see each other again. And our whole story is like long and windy. But we have now been together for 14 years. So it's just it was fun to go back to the beginning of somewhere. Um, I when this is done, I will post it as like a Substack post. And if you want to share anything that came up for you, you can drop it in the chat here too. But if you want to share any like actual lines and things that came up for you, I'd love to read. Um, just drop it in the comments when this goes live later today. So, thank you. Thank you for writing with me. We are going to close the space with some grounding. And so let's just take a moment to come back to the body, especially if you went somewhere heavy or somewhere raw or tender or dark. And by some of these titles, I can see that you really went somewhere. And you might just need a little bit more nourishment and gentleness. So we are going to start with the breath, just like before. Feel free to close your eyes if that feels good, and take a deep breath in and a long, steady breath out. Place both hands over your heart if that feels good. Feel that beat, that rhythm, that life moving through you. Breathe in. And as you exhale, if it feels good, let out a small sound. Release. Let it go. Whatever surfaced for you today, let it go. You can open your eyes now if you close them. And just remember, you can always return to the breath when you need to come home to yourself. If the page gets a little like sticky and you're in like some heaviness, just remember your breath is with you. Okay. Um, Sorry, my toddler's playing in the hall, so it's, who knows what's happening out there. My husband's supposed to be watching it, but he's making lunch. So if you want to drop anything in the chat, I'll stay on for a couple minutes. I know we're a little bit over, but I do like to connect with you here. I think I say this almost every time, but it's like so weird not seeing anyone's faces. It feels like I'm just in the ether. Um, but yeah, if anything came up for you or just like how this felt. And also, I'm curious, like, if anybody's working on a memoir right now, like, are you using the space to go into those stories? Is it a different story every time? Um, like, for me, when I first started writing my memoir, I had, I just like made a list of memories. Whatever like memories were bringing up some emotional heat for me, I just stream of consciousness, like, made a list, as many that could come up. And thanks, Michelle. Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Mm, wow. Yeah. So, I need to read your. Michelle has a memoir too, and I really need to read it. I need to add that on the top of my reading list. Yes, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, that's good. Karen, writing a yeah. Mm, wow. See, that's great. I'm so glad you're using this space for that. Um, it is. It's having writing prompts. Like if you have your story, these are just like entry points to get into the story and from different directions and different angles, and it can kind of expand those stories. So even though I've already finished my memoir, I could literally take any story that I've already written and go into different chapters through these prompts. Um, and find something new there. I know it's just like the emotions and the like that emotional heat is so layered. So yeah, if you can use these time to touch those stories that you're working on, that would be amazing. Or even if it's just a story that you need to get out of your body. And I have like a million of those too that of course never made it into the memoir. So anyways, thank you so much for being here. If this felt good to you, I would love to see you again next week. I do this every week. It's the same rhythm. So it's like ground, and then we write, and then ground, but it's a different prompt. And yeah, I think just like 10 minutes at a time is building the practice and that safety with the body to be like, it's okay to go there and to kind of write the hard thing. Like we're safe and we can trust ourselves um, to take care of ourselves during this process. So I really appreciate you all sharing. Thank you, Michelle. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna write you after this because I want to hear more. And thank you for sharing all of your titles. And I will see you next week. Thank you.